Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is the second video on cost, volume, profit. In the first video, we explained the concept of cost behavior analysis. We explained the distinction between variable and fixed cost. We explained the significance of the relevant range and the concept of mixed cost. In this video, we will solve exercises related to cost behavior analysis. Please like, subscribe and share my channel to search for accounting lessons and hit the notification bell button to alert you for the latest video. For all of your questions, comments and suggestions, please put them in the comment section below. And for webinar and guest speaker invites, please send me a message at accountingamir@gmail.com. Accounting is AK. We hope that this video help students in their academic development and teachers in enhancing their lesson plans and teaching methodologies. We hope this video helps ACCA, AICPA, CPA, and CMA aspirants. We also hope that this video help fresh graduates who have joined the companies and want to refresh their learning of cost, volume, profit. Let us start with the first exercise on cost behavior analysis. Shingley Enterprise is considering manufacturing a new product. It projects the cost of direct material and rent for a range of output as shown below, and these are the instructions. Diagram the behavior of each cost for output ranging from 1000 to 11,000, and that is what is done over here. You see, we have the rent expense, we have the direct material expenses, and we have the range from 1000 to 11,000, and they are placed in a diagram over here. And so the second is determine the relevant range of activity, and within the relevant range the rent expense remains fixed, and that is 8,000. So this is our relevant range, while the variable cost can be calculated from any cost and units within the relevant range, and each will give us the same unit cost. You can divide 9,000 by 3,000 or 15,000 by 5,000. We will have the same cost. So the variable cost per unit is 3 in the relevant range. Indicate the fixed cost within the relevant range, and the fixed cost is obviously 8,000 in this relevant range. Let us look into another exercise. For Hunt Company, a mixed cost is 15,000 plus 18 per direct labor hour. Diagram the behavior of the cost using increment of 500 hours. So we have 500 hours intervals up to 2,500 on the horizontal axis, and increments of 15,000 to 60,000 on the vertical axis. And you can see that the fixed cost is fixed for all level of output. This is the variable cost and the total cost line. So that's how we graph these information. Let us look into another exercise. And Bruno Company accumulates the following data concerning a mixed cost. using miles as the activity level. So when we are using, so compute the variable and fixed cost element using the high-low method. And if you can recall, that high-low method uses the total cost incurred at both the high and low levels of activities to classify the mixed cost. The difference in cost between the high and low level represent the variable cost, since only variable cost change as activity level changes. So the first step is to calculate the variable cost per unit, and that is change in total cost, high level and low level. So high level is 15,000. Let me put it as high and low. So the total cost is at for high is 15,000, and for low it is 13, lowest is 13,500. So the difference is 1,500. And the miles, because the mixed cost is using miles as the activity level, at 15,000 total cost, the mile it is 8,500 miles, and at 13,500 the miles driven are 7,500. So the difference is 1,000. So change in the total cost is 1,500 divided by high minus low, that is 1,000. So that will give you 1.50 as the variable cost per unit. Compute the variable and fixed cost element. So we have to look at the fixed cost element now. So again we have high and low. We have high of 15,000 cost, and at low it is 13,500 cost, and from this we will subtract the variable cost. For high, we have 8,500 miles times the variable cost per unit per mile, that is 1.5. So this will give us 12,750, and for the low it will be 7,500 times 1.5, and this will be 11,250. So when you subtract the total cost, when you subtract the variable cost from the total cost, we get 2,250 in either case. 2,250 as our fixed cost. So the mixed cost is the fixed cost 2,250 plus the variable cost per mile, that is 1.5. So the mixed cost is equal to 2,250 plus 1.5 per unit. Let us look into one more exercise, or another exercise rather. And in this exercise, the company has collected the following data concerning its maintenance cost for the past 6 months. Compute the variable and fixed cost element using the high-low method. So once again, don't forget, first we calculate the variable cost per unit, and the variable cost per unit is change in total cost. Again, we will have the high and low. So the high is 66,100 and low is 32,000. And the units produced at high is 40,000 and at low it is 18,000. So the difference is 34,100, and for the units produced the difference will be 22,000. 40 minus 18 and 66 minus 32. So now we can apply the formula. Change in total cost is 34,100 and divided by the high minus low level activity, that is 22,000, and this will give us a variable cost of 1.55 per unit. This is the variable cost per unit. And then they ask us to calculate the fixed cost. So again we will take the high and low. The total cost at high is 66,100, at low it is 32,000, and from this we will subtract the variable cost. The variable cost is 1.55 times 40,000. So this is 62,000, and the variable cost at low is 1.55 times 18,000. So that makes 27,900. And now we can have the total cost minus variable cost. So the fixed cost is 4,100 in either way. 4,100. So the fixed cost is 4,100 and the variable cost per unit is 1.55. Let us look into another exercise. The company accumulates the following data concerning a mixed cost using units produced as the activity level. We have the total cost. Now compute the variable and fixed cost element using the high-low method. So again we are going to follow the same formula. We have the first of all the variable cost. So the variable cost will be 18,580. This is the highest, and the lowest is 16,200. So 18,580 minus 16,200 divided by 10,500 minus 8,800. So this will give us 1.4 per unit. So the variable cost per unit is 1.4 per unit, and then we calculate the fixed cost, and the fixed cost will be 18,000. We take first of all with the high. The total cost is 18,580 minus variable cost per unit times the number of units, that is 10,500 for high. So this will be equal to 3,880. We can calculate the fixed cost with low as well, and at low the cost is 16,200 minus variable cost per unit times the number of units, 8,800. So this gives us 3,880. So whether you calculate by high or whether you calculate by low, the fixed costs do not change. We go to part B now, and they say estimate the total cost if the company produces 9,200 units. So fixed cost will remain fixed, that is 3,880, and the variable cost per unit is 1.4, and we want to produce 9,200 units. So this will be 16,760. Let us look into one more exercise before we complete this session. Now, PCB Corporation manufactures a single product. Monthly production cost incurred in the manufacturing process are shown below for the production of 3,000 units. The utilities and maintenance cost are mixed. So we have two. We have utilities is mixed and maintenance is mixed. Others may be fixed and variable. The fixed portion of these costs are 300 and 200. So these are the fixed costs, 300 and 200. Okay. Identify the above cost as variable, fixed, or variable or mixed. So first of all, we go to the first part when they say the variable cost, fixed cost, or the mixed cost. So obviously we have uh, utilities and maintenance as our mixed cost while we start from the beginning. So direct material will be a variable cost, direct labor is a variable cost, property taxes is a fixed cost, indirect labor is variable, supervisor salary is a fixed cost, depreciation is a fixed cost. So we can make the calculations now. Let us look into the fixed cost. We have fixed cost is 1,000 of property taxes, 1,900 of supervisor salaries, 2,400 of depreciation, and within the utilities it is given that 300 is fixed and 200 is fixed. So the fixed cost will be equal to 1,000 plus 1,900 plus 2,400 plus 300 plus 200. So this is equal to 5,800. Next we go for the variable cost, and the variable cost for 3,000 units will be 7,500 plus 18,000 plus 4,500. So that is equal to 30,000. So the variable cost per unit will be 30,000 per unit, 30,000 divided by the number of units, that is 3,000. So that gives us 10 per unit. And then the variable cost portion of mixed cost will be the total cost. Okay, variable cost portion of mixed cost. We have two mixed cost. That will be total cost minus fixed portion. Now utilities, we have utilities as our mixed cost. So variable cost in this case will be the total cost 2,100 minus the fixed portion that makes 1800, and the variable cost per unit will be 1800 divided by 3000 units, that gives us the variable cost as 0.6 per unit. Then we have maintenance. And the variable cost will be the total cost 1100 minus 200, that gives us 900. So the variable cost per unit for maintenance will be 900 divided by 3000, so that is equal to 0.3 per unit. Then they ask to calculate the expected cost when production is 5000 units. So part B, cost to produce 5000 units. So that will be variable cost per unit plus times the number of units, that is 5000, plus the fixed cost. Fixed cost we have already calculated, and even the variable cost. So the variable cost per unit is 0.6 and 0.3, and we have the variable cost here as well. So 10 plus 0.6 plus 0.3 times the number of units. This is the total variable cost for producing 5000 units. And then we have the fixed cost we have already calculated as 5800. So this gives us 60,300. So this completes our discussion on exercises on cost behavior analysis. Remember, effective questioning brings insight, which fuels curiosity, which cultivates wisdom. If you have any question regarding this session, then please don't hesitate to ask in the comment box or by email, and inshallah I will reply you back. Thank you so much and happy learning.